But anyway, I want to go ahead and get to your thoughts, Jack, on the game, and then I have a couple of questions for you to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah, well, so first off, the game was, I mean, I became a Bulldog fan at 3. If you saw my Instagram post, my dad moved to vet school in '96. So I've been a Georgia fan since the Jim Donnan years. And this was definitely, besides graduating, all the basics, normal stuff, like meeting my wife or getting married and all that stuff. That was definitely the most fun and exciting, fulfilling day I'd ever have as a life. And it comes from me not only being a Georgia fan, but having been a walk-on, having been a football player at Georgia, having suffered some of the Bama losses where I was 5 yards away from beating Notre Dame, because Jesse knows we would have beat them just as bad as they did that year because Notre Dame was trash.
Yep.
It was really special to me to see, I got to go see this team this year. I live in Athens now. It was definitely an amazing experience. And then seeing, I don't know if you guys saw the videos of downtown Athens, but it was a war zone.
Yeah.
It was absolutely chaos. And I'm really glad I watched that at my house with my parents, which was special to me because, when you're with your families, and it was my parents and my wife, and my dad took me to all the Jordan games. He was growing up, they were there for me all the walk-on years. They were always my biggest fans. And, my most special moments are going to games with my dad, most people have when I have a little kid, if I have a son or a daughter, I'm going to do the same thing. So it's having my parents there and knowing that they steered me to this thing that brought me a lot of joy and happiness and tears before this, and happy tears. And have my wife there, who I met at a Georgia game, essentially, weekend, and how we live here. So to get the sappy stuff out of the way, it was very special. And Jesse and all them can laugh at us, because we haven't had him before. But I imagine, Jesse, if you were in our shoes, if you had just had this, you would be, I'm sure. I talked to Cody, my best friend, I know her through, and we would have. Cody told me, he even told me after second 26, he was actually kind of bummed for me because he wanted me to have one because he knew how much fun they were for Bama fans. They've had enough.
Oh yeah.
Not joking away, but so that was why it was really special. I drove around town the next morning before I went to work for some stuff, and the bookstores, there were lines out the bookstores, and it was 9 a.m. There were people outside the Butts Mirror. There were about 50, 60 people outside the Butts Mirror 4 hours before the team even showed up from the airport.
Yeah.
All of those bookstores had all the championship stuff already sold out. I went in there just to go see the view of it because I already bought all my stuff at 3 a.m. still drunk from the night before the game. So I've already probably bought $200 worth of championship stuff, and I don't care. I do not care. And so, yeah, the game, though, from a football standpoint, it was really interesting to watch because you could see that Bama really brought it defensively. You could tell they did their homework. Christian Harris had an amazing game. That guy was all over the field. He made some money. And you could tell early on that our defense had made some adjustments, that they were getting after it. I think we all thought I thought when that fumble happened, the first few plays, that was a touchdown. I was like, here we go. And then I saw it got turned away, and I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to happen. But the defense, I thought, played great. The offense, you could tell, was struggling to have some rhythm. Stetson, you could tell needed to calm down. The whole offense did, And then definitely a field goal battle early on. Paul did great. Alabama's kicker, Reichert, where they finally found a kicker. I give him credit. They did. Mm-hmm. He didn't miss a kick.
We talked about that during the game too.
Oh yeah. But because imagine if that had been the kickers of our colleges, Jesse. It would have been a 6-0 game possibly.
It would have been 0 points.
They maybe even missed 2 extra points for all we know. But really though, halftime comes. I also, by the way, I went into the game thinking I'm rooting for us, obviously, but I was fully expecting Alabama to win. I was ready to be hurt. The whole game, I wasn't getting too high, too much. I was just fully expecting us to get something to happen. And then when Stetson had that, I'm not even calling it a fumble because that was one of the weirdest fumbles I've ever seen. The ball ended up 15 yards down the field. That was a pass, and the guy caught it like you're going out of bounds on practice, just catching a ball.
Right, that was funny.
And he was this close to being out of bounds. That was the weirdest. But anyway, they got the ball back, and then every Georgia fan it's early fourth quarter. You're like, oh boy, here we go. We've seen this before every time. And then they score a touchdown on the 3rd and goal, which our red zone defense was phenomenal. I couldn't believe that we held the Heisman guy to that. It was crazy. And then Stetson just comes out the next drive and says, I'm going to have the balls to do this, and no one's going to stop me. And just went out there and zing, zing, sack, zing, and just throws it right over to Mitchell, which was a beautiful pass. That was a Bryce Young
I don't know how
pass.
our defender didn't turn around.
It was a Bryce Young pass. Like, those were the passes that everyone's talking about in one year. And I know I've been on the show all year with you guys, but I'll tell you right now, Stetson Bennett is a phenomenal deep ball quarterback. For everyone that says, "Oh, we want JT, his arm's stronger," I'm like, man, go watch the tape. That guy can spin it. He can put it right on the money. There are passes after passes all year where he's putting it right there. He doesn't throw balls. Like, when he gets that play action offense that's his bread and butter, like Kirby talked about with Reese Davis the next day. And he just spun it right there. Exactly what a veteran QB should do. When you have a guy jump off sides like that, free play, just go for it. Because even if you don't complete it, the play doesn't count anyway. If it goes out of bounds or it's incomplete.
Well, even that first one with Pickens, first long one. So
and
I'm trying to figure out how Pickens only had one catch in that entire game. They must have him covered up. It's the only thing I can
Well, there
think.
was another big PI call on him later too.
That's true. That's true.
Well, not on him, but you know what I mean.
And then defense comes back, holds them, like they'd been doing all game. I credit our punter and our special teams. The punter is our kickoff guy. He hits out of the end zone every time. And then when we did get stalled early on, he was pinning Bama. He was flipping the field. And he was putting Bryce in the making, hey, y'all got to go earn it. I'm going to make y'all go 80, 90 yards instead of 60 or 50. And that's a big deal for a defense. When you know that you got them and they got 80 yards to go, and same for an offense. You're like, man, I know we're explosive, but man, you got to go 80 yards every play. That's a lot of pressure on them. So for him to put them in that situation really helped them a lot. And then we come back, Stetson throws a pretty ballsy throw. We come out and run it. And then 3rd and 1, and you throw a little like screen dump pass to Bowers, which I thought Battle was going to tip it. And I was like, oh, here we go. Like, tip pass all over again. Like Georgia fan. Like that was my PTSD. Because I was right there in that corner during that game when they did that for comedy. And Bowers catches it, scores, and that's when I thought, man, oh my God, it's 3 minutes, like it's 8 points, it's still a single possession game, but man, we got it. I was more excited because tight ends, that's my family. Our tight end group chat that we all have from our guys who played, it was going insane. During that, our coach Lily, my coach who's now at UNC, was even getting really excited for us, which is awesome. But then Bryce comes out, they throw a couple of passes. I thought the play that doesn't get talked about enough, that people are, everyone's talking about the Ringo catch, the Bowers touchdown, the Mitchell catch, all that stuff. When Brian Robinson got that slant pass, he was gone. Like, if that guy didn't tackle him, Chris Smith, he's gone. And it's right down the middle of the field. And it's, it might be tie game at that point. But our guy tackles him. And then, like, 2 plays later, Bryce throws the pick, and Keeley gets it. And you just see I think I didn't even really watch the entire interception return. I was too busy freaking out with my family, hugging and kissing the whole time. So we had to rewind it. And then he scores. And then I think we all fell down. Our dogs were barking, everybody. I think the entire state of Georgia's decibel level went up this high, and then game blouses. It's over. And you had to wait till the clock hit. I didn't believe it was going to happen until the clock hit final. I was like, because every Georgia fan knew that something could happen. Keeley's running back, pop the ball, something,
Right.
Some referee says, oh, he was offsides, the defender. How is it the cornerback offsides? Something weird like that. So those are my short thoughts. So I'm happy to hear.
Did you see Kirby, though? To your point, did you see Kirby as soon as
Kirby had been working on his box jumps?
That too. But did you see when he was running it back? As soon as he caught the ball, Kirby was going, get down the whole time.
Which is what Keeley should have done, to be fair. But when you got that convoy ahead of you, you're go. And the good thing for him was he's right by the sideline. So if he's feeling any threat, he can just go out of the sideline. But I think when he saw, how are you going to tell that kid, hey, man, the open alley's there to seal the game.
Right.
To get down. I know Kirby, that's the right thing to do, but it's funny because you see Kirby go down, down, down. He gets everybody goes, go, 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 go.
Right. Yeah. As he got further down the field, he's like, oh, nope, never mind, kid. Just keep going. So
my favorite photo is of Mary Beth Smart and her kids just celebrating there in the end zone. You see it if you look on the view, and that's pretty awesome, because Jess could speak from a woman's perspective, but imagine that coach's wife the stress she's felt the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there is anyone happier than besides all the people that could have been happy in there. The happiest person besides the obvious is Mary Beth Smart, because she gets to not carry the brunt anymore, and her husband can relax, just get that big monkey off his back, and he can do whatever he needs to from now on, or hopefully I'm winning national championships, I want us to do the right thing, I want to be proud of the program I was a part of for 4 years and still help out and donate, and all that stuff too. But I'll take this. I can die happy, man. That was so awesome.